Alright, hello and welcome back. As you can see, I was finally able to get that stream announcement, stream title that I was hoping to use. It's fitting, I guess, now that I'm going to be going from Reaper here on out, but more importantly, I'd also like to give a quick shout out to my buddy Copen, who helped me get my Reaper this point, so from here on out, I don't have to worry about any grinding whatsoever. I just have to do the main story with my main here, and we'll be in good shape. At long last, the Watcher is ready to fulfill his final duty. It is time for you to be on your way. The crater at the heart of Mare Lamatori, where Zodiark was imprisoned, is not easily traversed. However, let us call upon Argos, the familiar, of which you have met earlier. He should have no trouble bearing you across. As Heidelin created me as the jailkeeper, so did she create Argos as the guard. It is in his nature to appear when needed, and yet he is nowhere to be found. Mayhap the imbalancing of ether has affected him. Let us make for the crushing brand and attempt to call upon him there. Need but recall the path you walked with Argos before, and you will find your way. If he labors in service in Idalus's plan, I see no reason not to do as he suggests. We'll make for the crushing brand then. Alright, so basically that's Cerberus, is what you're telling me. Huh. There's no door here, which implies to me heavily that the only way to get on this little balcony is to fall from above. Why would you build a building that has a balcony you can only reach by falling? Oh no, I can go along the... Yeah, I could have gone along the edge here and still made it. I guess this is when he's outside, doesn't want to go inside, but wants to go around all the same. It's still a lot of work, though, especially when it's so much easier. Well, no matter. Oh crap, that hurt! Going by those rocks. Dang. Dang. Last night worked out a lot better than I thought. Oh, but for the record, in about 2 hours the game is going down for emergency maintenance. I could have not streamed tonight or streamed something else, but a big reason I jumped into this was to make as much progress as possible because, well, as mentioned before, it is extremely easy for someone on an art site, on a media sharing site, they'll just accidentally spoil it without even realizing it. I used to wonder why people were so, you know, broad about what spoilers allowed, even mood stuff, but now I kind of understand it. I actually don't really mind spoilers in the general sense, it's just that, well, a lot of the events in this game... Dang, these inside caves look really beautiful. But yeah, the thing with the... is I can't give a fresh when I know, like if they say, have you gotten to the sad part? Well, even if I don't know what that sad part is, so it's not technically speaking a spoiler in the traditional sense. It still means my expectations are going to be set, and so I won't be able to be as raw with my feelings like what happened once again at the one... Well, at scenes last night or the scenes in the night before, really. I know people memed that the main story quest has no breaks, but dang, they really weren't kidding. Unfortunately, I did have to prepare for the stream a bit, so now that I realize it, it's probably going to be more like 90 minutes. Oh well, 90 minutes of stream is not too bad. Whatever story stuff I can get done that time is going to be appreciated. Lunar life forms have begun. Down each creature. Mysterious lunar life forms have begun. It must be stopped. Wasting too much time on the Fate. We have to try and rush as much store as we can. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, which is a bit disappointing, but I don't want to get as much store as I can because there's just gonna be too many memes, spoilers, and all that if I don't. With a little preparation, I think it may be possible to traverse the gap on foot. Then again, it'd be a very, very long way down should one slip. Perhaps another time. Alright, well that's the address the obvious, why don't we just hop the gaps? Naught could prepare me for the boundless beauty of Aetheres, shining, shimmering amidst a sea of stars. A blue sapphire born of countless other jewels brimming with life, no doubt. So close and so far, does not the harsh terrain remind you of somewhere we've been before? The Dravanian Forelands, eh? The place rejects the intrusion of outsiders, where solitude reigns supreme. At the very least, it sounds suitable for Zodiac's prison. The place we seek is just ahead of the Chloris Grot. You see, Argus cannot manifest without sufficient concentrations of ambient ether. It would be hard-pressed to find a greater confluence than inside this cavern. Follow me. Ah, so this was the area I went to earlier. Or was that the Loving Ways, Darlings? One of the two. I don't know what sense in taking too much time, I guess. A weep, This dark cave is thrumming with ambient ether. Alas, a further analysis will have to wait. Curious, this place doth call to mind the Liony, the home of the Numau. The guard of Zodiac's prison, eh? Blood-red eyes, slobbery maw, built like a behemoth, I imagine. Let's hope he's friendly. That's just a golden poodle, my friend. But then again, yes, here will do nicely. The lunar Ngoi draw ether from the ground, which is dispersed into the air. At present, however, the ambient energies are not quite sufficient for Argos to manifest. Might you be willing to spare some of your own? A Reaper and a Weeper. Now let's attune here real quick, see if we can't call the little puppy. Come now, Thancred. Next you'll guess that it has like 3 heads or something. There it is! Argos manifests in the flesh. He seems happy to see you again. A most fascinating creation of Heidelin's, would you not agree? Should the need arise, he's even able to create reflections of himself on a whim. Though I assure you it was no reflection which accompanied you earlier to the brand. No, Argos was quite eager to be at your side then, as he is now, it seems. I cannot recall the last time he showed such an affinity for anyone. Indeed, I thought him more likely to shy away from you and your companions. Perhaps it's more than a sense of duty that compelled him to aid you before. As for your companions... Reflections. Unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I believe we are all ready. Then let us return outside, that you may cross the chasm. So it's this way, the exit. Right, we have to go the long way around. There's a bit more in the cave, but nothing relevant. Probably for a quest later, I'd imagine. This area is not quite as big as I was expecting, but then again, nothing in this expansion has been what I was expecting. I mean, I seriously would have thought the Mega Sisters, or at the very least Anima, would have been a trial fight, but no. Everyone in the chat's doing the John Madden meme. Argos favors you with what could almost be described as a conspiratorial grin. I do wonder if this means we need to worry more about Hydaelyn than expected, or perhaps we do know the heart of Hydaelyn is Vanat, so it's possible there's entirely separate forms of Hydaelyn, so to speak. Oh, and I like the little buzzsaw that this scythe has. I'll definitely have a good pick of the litter for which one I want to use as the main scythe skin. Ah, one giant wheat career. Your destination is the structure across the Cradle of Darkness, but climb onto Argos' back and he will take care of the rest. Once you arrive, it will not take long to find the ship's crew. The facility is designed to rouse them from their slumber in the event of Zodiark's destruction. Heed their counsel. Together you may guide the star and its people to a much kinder fate. This is where we part ways, but know that I shall ever be watching and praying for your success. To whom would Hydaelyn trust the command of so grand a vessel, I wonder? I was expecting something a little more intimidating, less man's best friend. Our allies' assurances notwithstanding, we cannot be certain what awaits us on the other side, so perhaps it'd be best if we do not go at once. I propose the two of us cross first, while Thancred and Euronjay wait here. Sounds good to me. Onward! Well, a malefic ether yet permeates from the crater, remnants of Zodiark most like. He did single-handedly rewrite the laws of reality to undo the final days, but without him, his rewritings to the laws have been undone. And that means whatever caused the end of days was never stopped. Just a little further. Oh, the purple glows are gone. And that is a big gate. It almost reminds me of the Crystal Tower, actually. Well, they did say the Allegan and Amuro similarities were in no way a coincidence. What the? Oh yeah, because it was probably open for someone else going in. The structure's enormous, though that's hardly surprising given the size of the average Amuro team. Apologies for the wait. Right then, let us head inside and... Oh! Most intriguing. A means by which he conserveth energy, mayhap. Well, I wouldn't want to blink out of existence on our account, helpful as he's been. Thank you, Argos. We'll take things from here. If Argos is to remain without, let us not keep him waiting too long. So this entire moon was Hydaelyn, and we know Dalamud was created by the Allegans to contain the Elder Primal. Dang. Dang, this is a really nice looking area. Discover a new location. Best ways burrow. And an aetherite. Truly a marvel beyond description. Oh yeah, the aetherite's in the down there. Its scale is reminiscent of Amuro, or rather the replica we visited on the first. Fortunately, the emergency maintenance is going to last the entire night and into early morning, so unfortunately I will have to stop streaming once that happens. Short one, but then again, I've been doing a lot of long ones for this game, so perhaps it's...
Our moonship pilot should be around here somewhere. Is that right?
So who are these mysterious pilots who are sealed away? Oh, maybe they're in those containers that look like little houses. Yep, looks like it. I don't know what I was expecting with a name like Laporitz. Rabbits. Rab. I wonder if being a Vera would affect your character's reaction here. When they did the crossover with Monster Hunter, if a character's a Makoto and you're all, wait, a talking cat? He's all, what the? Have you looked in a mirror recently? I believe these are based off the naming way rabbits from Final Fantasy IV. I would assume that's the leader one.
Look lively, everyone! I know, this 1,243rd inspection is a mite ahead of schedule, but it is of the utmost importance, for Zodiac, alas, is no more.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Now, our mighty moon has a new purpose, to bear the people of Etheris to safety! Our time has come, my friends! We must be swifter than swift. There is much to do before our guests arrive. I expect your workstations to be immaculate. And don't forget to relay our signal to Etheris. Questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No? Then hop to it!
Go get it, Hop, because rabbits.
"'Tis a rather curious crew she hath chosen. Their endearing forms intended to ease the passengers' hearts, perhaps."
Perhaps.
I guess she had to have created this whole species, because remember that since both Dalamund and this moon are both false creations, this one created by Heidelin and the other created by the Alligans, this strongly implies that this planet had no natural moons. All of them were completely artificial. And on that note, since this is artificial, then the Laporits have to have been a creation of Heidelin directly as well. And of course, we still don't know if we can trust her, but... Well, time's of the essence. Pick up the pace, everyone. Slow down to the next job quickly. We're certainly on the move now. Wait for me, I beg you. Well, that evil laugh from what sounded like Heidelin's voice certainly does sound unnerving, but I guess the entire point of Shadowbringers was that everything we know is wrong, so I guess if they continue that theme here, I wouldn't be surprised. Although I do hope they make it a bit more complicated than just Heidelin was actually evil all along, because it wouldn't be bad, mind you. I'm sure they'd still handle it well, but I mostly just don't want to feel like a repeat of Shadowbringers and all those great plot points it had. Given the present crisis, Heidelin doubtless sought to facilitate cooperation betwixt pilot and passenger. Indeed, 'twould require a heart as hard as diamond to raise one's voice in anger to beings of such profound serenity. I find Urionje's reasoning somewhat flimsy, but the crew seems amicable enough. A hairy situation. His dumbfounded expression suggests that he's still struggling to comprehend the spectacle he just witnessed. These must be the Laporits mentioned in the Watcher's records. Not at all what I expected, but the Watcher did bid us heed their counsel. I assume the one who gave that rousing speech is the leader, though we may have to ask to track them down. Come on then, let us be on about it. Come on, thank. Don't be like Barok von Zieks, don't be an asshole. But the Watcher does bring up a good point. Now that he's done his final duty, what's left for him? I guess just to help out the Laports to get the people of the planet away if needed. And of course, if we can stop the final days, what are they gonna do? Well, I guess they could just live here on the moon. It's not like these rabbits seem to be lacking anything, since there seems to be sources of air and food here. Given, well, the Watcher may not need food. He may just eat ether, maybe. Hard to tell, since we don't know how the Ancients lived on a day-to-day basis. Loporids all appear to be set about their tasks. Whether is their leader, I wonder. Having a jump and backstep ability that does not require a target is extremely helpful. That's one thing I loved about Dancer. They had a dash that you could use practically anywhere you wanted. Alright, let's attune to here immediately, because this is going to be very helpful. Camping Way. Nothing for it, only one thing to be done. Scrap it and go. Start all over. Thank you for spending the night outside Best Way's burrow, but I'm not sure what I need to take with me. Well, aside from the tent, of course. Trading Way? Yep, like I said, they're all based off the Naming Way rabbits. It's all the fun traders and theories we're getting up to, and thought I could, hey, I could do that, so I'm eagerly awaiting. Some are still sealed away, I see. Such a fascinating apparatus, though it's hard to believe it could house so many crew members. Even so, there's nothing else here to suggest any other type of accommodation. Maybe they don't need to eat or sleep if there's no dorm rooms or food or anything like that. Fighting Way. A pretty chipper bunny. Leader of the crew, not me I'm afraid. Singing Way is the name. I'm in charge of construction and maintenance of the atmospheric circulation, only the crispest, cleanest air for the people of theories, and that's a promise. Oh, I see. That person helpfully showed me what I would need to do, but to be fair, I probably would have figured that out on my own. If only because, as you've seen throughout this entire game, the time I play this game, I have a habit of just taking a shortcut by simply jumping off the edge. Being all YOLO. Splat. Now let's go ahead and grab this thingy while we're here. Okay, so I guess the moon really does have an artificial atmosphere. Dancing Way. I've heard that you're kind. Hop about when they hear music, is that true? Can you turn it off? Fighting Way. I've decided to form a fellowship of protectors to escort people as they arrived. So relax, you and yours are in safe paws. Very safe. Oh yeah, looks like they allow pets in here, so let's go ahead and bring my horse. Should probably try some other mounts on this character, maybe one of the cuter ones, just to completely spite the edgelord theme. Let's see here, which one while I'm doing this. Most of these mounts are from the story or farming. Regalia Type G is actually a pretty fun one, but that's a multi-person one. Weaving Way. What do you think of our clothing? I'll have you know I'm the mastermind behind its design. Dozing. The leader, no. Sleeping Way. My job is... perhaps I better ask. You seem a lot less robotic than you'd expect. After all, as we've established, the element of light in this game is around the order, static, unchanging, while darkness is chaos, so constant change. Either is perfectly fine, but obviously too much of one is bad, and that's actually what's going to be Heidelin's job now. Once regardless of whether or not we stop the end of days, either we stop the end of days and the world is saved, or we fail to stop it, we get on the spaceship and go catapult to space. Won't that mean her job is done? Because her job was to be a restraint to Zodiac and to save the people, and both of those will have been achieved by the end of the story here. Happy Laporte. What? How when did you get here? Who let you in? Why isn't I told? Take me to your leader. Weren't you the one giving the orders earlier? Me? Oh, yes, of course. As the only one here capable of doing anything properly, it falls to me to take charge of the others. Well, well, looks like you beat us here. Your friends, I take it? Is this all of them? A group comprised entirely of children. What must their parents be thinking? This isn't a nursery after all. Perhaps we should build one, or did we build one already? Oh right, they're used to the ancients, who are much taller. No matter, you didn't worry your pretty little heads. All will be well, I promise. Goodness me, we shouldn't be standing here gawping. I must take you to meet the others. If you could run along back to the entrance, you'll find a path that leads to the center platform on the upper floor. There's no wrong way to reach it, but it's a large glowing ball at the center, should you find yourselves lost. I shall gather the others and meet you there. Well then, back to the upper floor it is. Yeah, because remember, even during the reflection of Amuro, everyone mistook us for children because we're about the size of the ancients when they were young. Which is actually quite notable, because if you recall, Elidibus was our size. And in fact, I think I mentioned it shortly afterward. I don't know why it didn't register when I first did that battle, but yeah, that explains why they constantly mentioned that choosing Elidibus was controversial even in universe. I thought, well, it's anyone they choose would have been a controversial pick. No, it's because they chose to sacrifice a child to be the heart of Zodiark. Zodiark was literally powered by a forsaken child. And even though he did volunteer for it, they did make it clear that was the case. I can definitely see why that was considered too far, and also why, yeah, Azem would have been disgusted by that. However, we're definitely probably going to be learning a reason for why Azem chose not to be involved with Heidelin's creation. There's definitely more than what's going on here. It's just a question is, what's the deal with the Heidelin that we don't know about? Because it doesn't necessarily mean she's evil. Might not even necessarily mean she might be a problem, but it could even be that she simply represents something that Azem wanted to distance themselves from, the either extremes, so to speak. Oh my, but isn't this exciting? I've never seen one of your kind close up before. Would you mind if I took some measurements, just for reference? Recording way. Yeah, the goddess of light, all about order and static stuff. She gave them all distinct personalities. Moon sail. It's the other way. Well, that was embarrassing. Only 90 minutes and I'm screwing around. I should be speculating while I'm moving here, not because I'm, I should be speculating while I'm having to travel long distances like this, not while I'm waiting on a quest. Why, but those strange symbols with the circle and square are really throwing off my depth perception. On that note, ever since my computer upgrade, I noticed I've been able to stream my streams in a higher quality. I hope anyone watching is able to enjoy that, because I'm really glad. Regardless of how many people watch, I still like to try and improve the quality of these streams. Given their size, getting from one end of the place to the other must be exhausting. I also don't know how they do it. It is astounding how the Laportes, despite their diminutive stature, are able to maintain such gargantuan facilities. Yet their composition and density of the sphere are quite similar to the crystalline concept we've seen before. It likely shares the capacity for storing memories and knowledge. Mapping way. Visitors at last, welcome. So basically, this is a map, is what Stola was saying.
Right, of course. Introductions are in order. Ahem. My name is Livingway, and we are the Loporits, created for the express purpose of commanding this ship and bearing the people of Etheris to a brave new world. More specifically, I am the one whom she charged with the execution of her most vital plans. You might say I'm her right paw. Livingway's the name. Map reader and navigator of the heavens.
Pleasure to meet you all, but I'm still trying to make sense of this.
Confusion and bewilderment are completely understandable. Fear not, I shall walk you through it. The people of Etheris, through no fault of your own, I'm sure, set in motion a series of events that, unfortunately, culminated in Zodiac's obliteration.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, granted, we now know Fandango was planning to make sure Zodiac would die no matter what, since he knew that that would bring about the end of days again. But that doesn't change that we were still technically the one that caused it.
Acutely aware of the imminent crisis, your parents sent you little ones on ahead while they began the necessary preparations. Still not following? No? Very well, I shall elaborate further. Here, we have Etheris, your home, and the moon, where we are now. Without Zodiac around to keep things lively, so to speak, the celestial currents of the star have doubtless begun to degrade. A calamity of apocalyptic proportions will be visited upon Etheris, bringing an end to all life. Very sad, huh?
To put it lightly, yes. A bit of
So
a...
too hath the Watcher claimed. By thine unperturbed countenance, I gather this eventuality was anticipated.
The doom and gloom. Oh yes, quite expected. Imagine, if you will, that Etheris is a delicious carrot that I've forgotten to eat and left out in the midday sun. The most earnest wishes or prayers will not stop it from rotting to the core. So sadly, there's nothing to be done but to abandon said carrot, Etheris, in case the metaphor is lost on you, to its grisly fate.
And this moon will serve as the vessel to deliver us to a new home.
Just so! We will gather up as many people, supplies, and resources as our stores will hold. And then, once everyone is aboard, it's off to another star. Easier said than done, admittedly, for one does not simply hop from star to star on a whim. Which is precisely why we've spent countless years constructing the most propulsive of propulsion systems.
One does not simply hop into Mordor.
We ought to make it to our destination in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail.
Stellar travel. Chance of truly mastering many
Impressive
things.
technology. I dare say it is beyond anything we have ever seen.
Even the Alligans struggled to do anything more than make an artificial satellite. The ancients had
No
outright
need to shower us with praise. All we've done is faithfully carry out the instructions left to us by Hydaelyn back in the old days, when she was still just Venar. She was dedicated to the study of the world and its inner workings. And the Watcher, the real one, not the simulacrum you met, was one of her fellow researchers.
That explains why she made it in his
We
image.
and this wondrous vessel, masquerading as a moon, are products of their knowledge and know-how.
So this planet really didn't have any natural...
There's certainly more to you all than meets the eye. Might I ask where exactly you intend to take us?
We identified a few promising candidates for resettlement some time ago, but we cannot guarantee that they are fit for habitation.
And it would be like, there are some potentially habitable planets in other places that have been found, but since we've never sent any satellites there, there's no guarantee if humanity could actually relocate there if it ever became necessary.
Moreover, the ship can only travel in short bursts. We intend to go down our list, hopping from star to star, until we find one suitable for resettlement. No need to worry, though. The vessel is being refurbished with accommodation for an extended stay as we speak.
So basically, it's the spaceship from Wall-E, is what I'm getting out of this.
While we did have to rely upon outside help to determine what amenities were essential, I dare say we have risen to the challenge.
Help? From who?
From you and yours! Who else? Each time we woke to perform regularly scheduled maintenance, we were greeted by the resources you sent us. What better way to learn about preferences and proclivities of our present-day charges?
Yeah. She might not mean us literally, she might mean the various spoken races, the sapient races.
Ah, but you're still adorable little children. Perhaps your elders were responsible for the deliveries.
I'm not sure what led you to conclude otherwise, but I can assure you that we are all grown men and women, and I very much doubt my elders know this place exists, much less how to send you so much as a starlight missive.
What? Then who in blazes let you on my moon?
Well, to explain what happened here,
Heidelin herself led you here. You don't say! Well, that's really not children. Then why are you so small and stunted? Like little baby carrot people.
probably not inaccurate, but yeah, we're merely reflections of the
Well,
ancients.
Amarotines were a great deal taller. In the present day, persons of such prodigious size are exceedingly rare.
Precisely.
So, you're saying everyone's not like the Watcher?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, confound it all! Someone could have at least scribbled a note about your profound miniaturization.
That tome in thy possession.
Oh, this? One of the first books sent to us. A compendium of the people of Atheris, with a few blank pages at the back for minor corrections and updates as needed. The sum total of our knowledge of your kind is contained in these pages.
What's that?
I thought it was abridged and made small for our benefit, but this isn't a regular-sized book, is it? Building way, can you hear me? Yes, we're all very busy. Change of plans. I need you to rebuild the domiciles at 1/3 the scale. All of them. Yes, all of them, and but me no buts. See to it with all speed.
Oh, they were built for the Amaro-sized people.
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about your terrestrial collaborators.
Yeah, we need to know who's been in contact
Yes,
with them all this.
yes, in due time. But first, I'd like to hear more about you, if it's all the same. I'd rather not risk any other complications due to outdated knowledge of our passengers-to-be.
Well, true, we should probably get that in order as soon as we can. After all, if we fail to stop the end of days, we absolutely do need a backup plan. I should have realized something was amiss when living here referred to us as children. What other delightful misconceptions they hold, I wonder. It is unfortunate that the domiciles were constructed in error, but their willingness to perform such sweeping renovations is a testament to their commitment. I cannot fathom the resources required for a facility so vast. Ooh, and this should mean at least that the, does the doggy need out? Let me check real quick. Alright, I'll need to let them back in a few minutes, but... yeah, hopefully the food stores will be able to last longer, since they were preparing for people much larger. Final days approaching, Living Way is keen to complete our preparations. Right then, now that you're here, we need to teach you... we need you to teach us all we can about your people, and quickly. It won't be long for the final days are upon us, in all their terrible grandeur, so it's imperative that we be prepared to receive our passengers to be. If there's anything at all that may displease them, it must be dealt with post-haste, and address it we shall. Here at Best Ways Borough, we've assembled everything to offer our guests the best way forward. We produced a myriad of amenities we understand to be essential for day-to-day living, so we wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you've worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with foods? Meet me at the Caratorium. She does not want for enthusiasm. The notion of a theory is rotting to its core, being a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Nevertheless, let's take this opportunity to learn more about them in these reports in this vessel. Yeah, take things a step at a time here. Bunny. About an hour from now. Oh, the doggies back in. One moment, please. Alright, there we are. They should be fine for the rest of the night. Emergency maintenance is coming in about an hour from now. I'm gonna be streaming right up until the end of it where I can. And when I do, that's when the stream shall end. Oh, I need to go down. Well. YOLO! Ow, 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 ow. But hey, I can't die for fall damage as long as I'm not in combat, so no reason not to go nuts, right? Hopping way, yawning way. I'm delighted to see you, but I'm very busy. Perhaps we can chat another time. Oh, I must have dozed off. What was I supposed to be doing again? Supporter. Oh crap, enemies are here. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure this is a song from Final Fantasy IV. Which, I mean, it does make sense given this game, the overall theme of this expansion. Welcome to the Caratorium. Here we create prototypes of various sundries required by soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of foodstuff production, Cooking Way. Our work is involved at your service. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we created the finest cuisine. I've learned all about essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from our reference materials. I practically worn down the words. Naturally, we'll also consider the ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up and we're all quite famished. Up along the platform is here, you'll find a storage unit full to bursting. Oh, I forgot to talk to them before talking to Living Way. Oh dear. I'm eager to hear what you think. I'm sure there's some small room for improvement, but I'm confident. Okay, so yeah, this actually is the spaceship from Wall E. Oopsie. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm supposed to go up here directly. I took the harder route, didn't I? lasting way. There's a conundrum. Which carrots do we start with? I vote philosophers. They'll keep us light on our feet. No iron. We won't get far without the bulging thews. This doesn't require debate. We have work to do, so quit dragging your feet and get to it. You open and find a rainbow-colored assortment of carrots. If I remember right, I've actually read that carrots are naturally purple, but were made orange due to, messing with them, basically. Ominous, peculiar, vibrant. While no particular smell to speak of, it's unusually light and springy. These qualities together excessive, leaving on question whether it's indeed a carrot. Are you sure? On second thought, you'd like to simply, take an obscene large carrot for now. Dude's bizarre qualities imprudent to ask cooking away whether it's safe to eat or not first. I think I mentioned before, but to my understanding, rabbits aren't usually too big on carrots. I mean, they will eat them, but it's usually more of a snack to them than an actual meal. They actually prefer something like romaine lettuce. So, Daenerys suctions to your mouth-watering. Obscenely large carrot. Even Vera are like to swoon at the sight of so grand a carrot. That or be offended by all those who assume that they would. Ah, fine choice. One of my personal favorites, actually. Please, I'm eager to hear what you think. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. You snap off a piece, enjoying its crunchy. Just confidence surges within you, a certainty that you are the center of the universe, that all creation is a story, and you the star of a special. For at least the very second roll should the dice roll should the dice treat you poorly. Oh, I see. I was getting it the really second. What'd you think? Unlike anything you ever tasted, yes? Lucky carrot is, well, to be honest, we're not quite sure how it was first made. Happy accident, you might say, but as the name suggests, after eating it, you feel blessed with good fortune. Plenty of other varieties as well, leading to increased blood flow, dream to help with sleep. As you can see, we have a carrot for every occasion. But what if someone doesn't like carrots? You don't like carrots? Oh, you must mean you don't like them served this fashion. Well, we're not to pureed versions. I take it you had too wide an assortment to choose from and not else. If I may ask, where exactly do these collaborators share about cuisine? Surely they're aware of our abundance of dishes and foods we could emulate. Of course we are, but it's only quite recently we established contact. Even when holding conversation was a struggle, so imagine our surprise when they sent a amount of books and documents, no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, we'd be at a loss for where to begin. So when we decided, rather than divide our resources, it'd be more efficient to devote our efforts to production of a single perfect food. That's well and good, but one cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them? Steaming, boiling, roasting? We could prepare them in other ways, but our primary concern was efficiency, and what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot? Rather strange approach for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When we were first created, we were named in the Old Tongue, you know, the otherwise impenetrable parlance which the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerund, present, continuous verb, conjugations, just the basics. Then we found terms related to our given tasks and used them. Are they helpful? Well, not really, but it does explain a good deal. Wherefore hast thou deemed such a change necessary? When those your people arrive, you want to be sure they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyway. Let's see. They must have been in Celtic. I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful. Though if you should desire to preserve flora and fauna, you should be able to offer passengers a more balanced diet as well. Till such a day, I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear not but carrots are on the menu. I'm sure the Laportes would hop at the chance to expand upon carrot. It's an exhaustive detail. Perhaps we should move on. I hate to admit it, but I did rather like the carrots. I'm glad at least someone appreciated them. Then again, Living Way is eager to show you more of the moon's wonders. I think we have our fill of carrots. Let's move on to the necessities. Clothing is sure to impress. Well, at least the good news is nobody who ends up living on this spaceship will end up like the people on the ship from Wall-E. And at the end of the day, isn't that truly what matters? Now watch as they end up doing a Wall-E reference and making me look silly. On that note, I'm glad they didn't ruin it by making a Wall-E 2. Now watch as they announce a Wall-E 2 like a few months after the stream comes out, just to spite me. Garments born of the heavens, crafted through methods ancient forgotten, dress befitting we walk in shade, stewards of the esoteric. It's hardly sun-soaked tapestries, but perhaps we'll be pleasantly surprised. Do you suppose the carrots they prepared are as grossly oversized as the carrots? Oh, perhaps, because remember, they were made for the ancients, not... Here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. Heidelin, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the self-same affinity her magic and her people suggest. We have other amazing talents, of course. I know you're dying to hear, but I'll regale you with time. As said, we did run into a spot of trouble. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst to provide us with the extra we need. My, how resourceful. Ah, sweet sound of recognition. Impressed to hear. We read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, this has also been taken into account, but take my word for it. Why take my word? We can simply try on our clothes, make yourselves known to the workers, and they'll see you the rest. What's up here? Just some plants, flowers? Oh no, these are the crystals she was talking about. I guess they grow crystals here to help. I guess it makes sense. They're so small, they can't function with creation magic nearly as powerful. Heck, even at our much bigger size than the Leporits, it's very difficult to summon a primal without some large production of crystals or some other catalyst. A single person generally can't do it, except unless it's like the summoner, I guess, but the summoner is a bit of a special case. Restless Laporit. It's you, one of the visitors. It's from Atheres. Goodness me, Mapping Way wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. Oh, right, you wish to try on some clothes, yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? Something implies bloodlust, or simply a functional, fashionable, refined. Fashionable. This will take a moment. I believe this is one of the earlier from the Realm Reborn. There we are, all finished. Perfect fit, if I say so myself. I'll be honest, I know nothing of fashion, let alone fashion on theories, but I'd wager no one there has ever worn a thing like this fun ensemble. Perhaps you could start a new trend. Wait, look at that speechless. Near, I thought you may not like it. If you mind to try something else, why not? Speak with my fellow Artesians. I'm sure they'd be happy to reply. Just continue wearing these to progress. This feels like a bit of a big change after, you know, battling Zodiac all people, but I get that's intentional. We just had a bunch of really major plot threads in a row, not just with that fight, but also the lead up to it, so a break is absolutely welcome. At least that's... no one seems to be coming. How can I help you? Want to try clothes? Of course. I'm looking for an altogether different design. This should do. Well, it's a step up from the last one, that's for sure. Ah, it's not my best work yet. You're a strange one, aren't you? I wasn't sure what you wouldn't ask for specific. I take my work seriously, however. I'm never one to disappoint. Ensembles, a blend of concepts, all-purpose attire. Just where the concept would turn when you... the proof, but it looks stunning. Would you go and show a living way? I'm sure she's eager to see what you come up with. Okay, judging by the fact that person is also in the same outfit, I would dare to say that no matter what you choose, you end up in the same general outfit. I get the point. This is to highlight that they know nothing of fashion. Well, it makes sense. They've been living literally on the moon while we've been doing their thing, so if you get to say, have you been living on a rock? No, I've been living on the moon. Well, at least that makes sense. My, don't we look splendid? As a result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. You didn't speak. I can see the adoration of the moon and all the birds in your eyes. Know that your friends will feel the same way. Proud of creations. Sorry to have kept you waiting. They insisted we sample all the concepts ere we returned. It is an ensemble most becoming. All scions. I think it's past time we returned these. We're so confident our garments would meet your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that in his time everyone wore the same robes. Do otherwise would be break social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern taste by tailoring robes to specific professions, but... Ah, please, you must be hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating Atheres, there will most certainly be in need of your attire. It's clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand, we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my taste, even if it's of inferior make. There are those whose choices may be reflected by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions on the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we've underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we'd memorized every tome we received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing a disservice by trying to shower you in our baubles. Maybe thinking it would be for your benefit, you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree. People might prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such formal fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate everyone for the final days, did it account for reflections of the source as well? Not that I'm aware of. We were born of Heidelin's love for Atheres, and the salvation of the people on that star, and that star alone, has always been our aim. Sure, it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than divide our efforts across 14 and risk fail them all? I suppose you're right. Living way, we might have to leave to... Might we have leave to explore best ways Barok intended? You've given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Yeah, I mean, as much as we do want to save the first as well, and ideally we'd like to by stopping the final days, the fact of the matter is, having a ship that can only save one planet for sure is a bit tricky. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There's actually something I wish to speak with you about. We shall be off then, shall we? That little parade is fidgeting. I would assume we might want to speak with him. Or pet him. Either's fine. Oh, my apologies, I wasn't trying to spy or anything. I've just been talking about visitors, and I want to see what the fuss is about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait, you still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleport near the entrance. Oh, and the name's a Growing Way, by the way. See you. Well, this explains their naming themes. They mostly just name themselves for the convenience of everyone from Atheres. I wasn't expecting to run into enemies here. I should have spoken with those people, with the Scions prior to the food part, because I think they would have commented on it. I'm guessing they're all malfunctioning robots of some form. Styled a hero. Oh, this has actually been a really long normal quest. Rushing way, what's you do? Why are you lazing about? Will never be ready for the guest's arrival to keep working at that pace? Splitting way. I can hardly believe we finally have people here. I just hope we'll be ready for the influx of guests. You're here, you're finally here. Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry, what should I call you? Coda, eh? Becky, even your names are amazing. Oh, Coda, we'll be using this teleport to enter the residential whenever you're ready. Wait, does this mean we're gonna have housing on the moon? Oh, dang.
Ready in the teleporter.
Explains why I said crikey. An error?
Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Atheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Still raises the question, who are the collaborators?
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Or quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too. You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
This is an expansion of a big part of of Urianger's character arc within Shadowbringers, because a big part of that was, in fact, that he was willing to make difficult choices if necessary. Yeah, just because he wanted to do what needed to happen.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Ah, idle musings. 'Tis no trifle, thou dost ask. Yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
While we're here, I do want to mention, Shadowbringers did make me like Urianger as a character quite a bit, because while he has had some nice things, like he had some nice character moments with the Warriors of Darkness and such during Heaven's Ward, or I feel Shadowbringers where he really started becoming one of my favorites, just because he had quite a bit going on.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up.
He interrupted everyone.
It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
He distracted us so we don't know exactly what she asked or who it was with. Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful. Since the residential quarters are closed, every route of the teleporter travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. A shame you couldn't see it, though. You really would have liked it. Oh, right, because remember, at the start, she contacted Building Way and told him to redo every single one to accommodate the new size for everyone involved. Now travel. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that, but one thing we all agreed upon is the people of Atheres won't take action to save themselves until it's far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards, but there are plenty of places worth selling. You already had to look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the borough. Follow me. And because we've gotten past all that, the quests for the area are now available. Nice. I shouldn't need to worry about those for the moment. Carrot and Ruin. Unfortunately, that is an unavoidable spoiler I cannot avoid. So do we piss them off, or maybe they just want to test out their combat? Hard to say, really. Alright, this is where I want to go. Splat. Ow, 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 ow. There you are. Through this door is the grandest End's Vale. It was named such because the veil to end all veils is the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We're going to send the people of Atheres take enjoy leisurely walks through naturally spaces, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll through the fountain? This way. Wish I'd started the stream a bit earlier, since we're going to be running right against the emergency maintenance, but that's how it goes sometimes. What matters is we're learning quite a bit here, and while we unfortunately get a spoil that they're going to be turning on us. Don't you just love books? I adore them. They've taught me so much. Don't tell anyone, but they also taste delicious. Grinding. You must be good at MMOs. Do these floors look clean to you? I don't know. I feel like they could use a bit more polishing. Oh, knows the grindstone. I suppose this is an overhaul. Change specifications on us. Finish this up today, understand? Hop to it. Are there truly more of your kind coming? I'd rather not be doing all this work for nothing, you know. Learning way. Oh, what a pleasure to actually meet you. I've read so much about you. Wow, this actually does look rather nice. Look, seems I can't attune to these crystals, but greatest ends veil. I can't attune to those crystals. Scraper. Oh wow, this is actually a really nice, nice fountain. So what'd you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I can see the forest. I didn't see. Oh wait, you mean those? You know when the crystals are there are. Right, you are. Our forest is made of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person, let alone a forest. Information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees, and thanks to our atmospheric circulation, the place produces air as clean as you'd find in the forests. Fountain behind us, powered by a rather large crystal adorning the top, is supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making the most spherical of spheres. I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come here. Look like you just stretch yourself. Oh, I have to play for the whole animation. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. It's not too much to ask. It's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through the forest with someone. Could we, maybe? You will? Oh, well. Oh, be still my quivering whiskers. I was thinking, Coda, I could be more helpful by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiark, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task, furnish the moon with propulsion systems and capable of traveling to other facilitating travel to other stars. Sounds impressive, and I suppose in many respects it is, but it's only possible thanks to the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take, but anyway, let us keep going. Does she mount up if I do this? Nope. Let's go with the optional one first. Ask if you can taste the rainbow crystal. Speak about growing way. With growing way. Nothing like a relaxing stroll to forget one's worries, right? Rainbow crystal. What? No, I'm not sure what you do with crystals on Theris. We don't eat them, and certainly not this one. This one is possessed of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the Earth's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, however, that because of Hydalin's influence being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis, manipulating elements here is different than it might be on Theris. Conjuring a fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Simply put, etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this is why it was necessary to keep all the raging energies of Zodiark in check. Guess that makes sense. Honestly, when Michelle said this was, or asking this to remind of something, I was thinking, oh, like the Empty. But no, it's not quite like the Empty. Although I guess it isn't that it can't build. It may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin to building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this. It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which couldn't be operational till hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where productivity came to a screeching halt when a bizarre red satellite was sent up in front of the theories. The Allagan's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiark. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can tell you how relieved... I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelins informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. So they couldn't work on it while Dalaman was there. Say, do you notice anything particular about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact that crystals are not massive trees, and I'll give you hints, the golden rings is emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with the device near the fixed ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to the sun, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to breathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? When you look closely, you'll see different types of trees that have ever slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this is truly the greatest. There's something else I want to tell you about. Oh right, the propulsion system and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which is all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Atheres. Why not go and visit yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited to evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Unfortunately, Growing Way has a very, very good point there. There's no shortage of people who would want to abuse that if they knew the true purpose of the moon. And then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Atheres we could trust to help. We're quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. Right, we still don't know who her collaborators are, and who they are I think is going to be extremely, extremely important. It's the forum, isn't it? That explains it. They're getting ready to put just their 99 members and no one else important over the moon. Well. This also explains how they know about the final days, even though theoretically few of them should even know what it is. I mean, they even mention the Forbidden Tomes, but nothing really mentions it. With the exception of the routine inspections and maintenance, we remained upon asleep and waited. Hopefully Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and though her power was waning, we will speak with them directly for a short while. We shared everything we could, include our knowledge of the heavens and the means to travel the moon. We certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them, no more than a few years at that. Our collaborators found means to convey images and supplies to us from down below. With letters and other resources, we soon learned enough to start make meaningful changes. Now you're here, fully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you. The greatest Ensvale, I knew it. Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I just know the walk through the forest, but it means a lot to me. There you are. I take you've already received the grand tour. Shame we missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is the teleport about the teleport of the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing issues at hand. When calling an emergency meeting, your attendance is required. Really, I can't imagine you need me there, but if you insist... It won't be long now, so you're all more than welcome to continue looking around the burrow. Come along, Growing Way. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rounding conversation with a guide. Did you learn anything of import? They've spent 12,000 years preparing for this? With that appointed hour fast approaching, I can understand the restlessness, but still... It remains to be seen if the people can be swayed to evacuate when there are no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defines imagination. I doubt there are many who'd readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they possess the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate, they will meet a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Unless, of course, they already have. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There's another matter which begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you excuse me. This explains it. Because the 4 members have already forsaken everything else, they have no problem leaving behind everyone else and flipping them off as they leave. I can't believe I didn't realize this was a possibility sooner. Damn, this also explains why they turn against us. If the Forum orders them to turn against us, they might not have a choice but to fight. Why do you suppose suddenly took his fancy? It is clear now we have difficult decisions lie ahead. Preparation for evacuations is near crucial, but I'm not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust that I'm not alone in my reluctance. Final days make brave fools of us all. Back to old tricks. By now, Thanker can tell what his friends are up to something. By now, Uriel and Jay seem strange to you, more than usual, I mean. I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Ishtola and I will remain here to see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, you might be able to catch up to him. They went to research with the Ethereal Sea. They might have either contacted Heidelin or they intercepted a message while they were waiting for Heidelin, which also explains why they were all willing, because it's such a big secret, because I was correct. They fully intend to take this ship to leave the planet when the final days and leave everyone else behind. Surfing way. This slide, it is for children. Children of man, that is. You're considerably larger than I imagine a Laporte child would be if one existed. And I guess they don't reproduce. Moon dust is the weather. I need to pay attention to that more. There's usually a custom weather condition when you're in a dungeon or specific instance. Moping way. Alright, let's see if we can find him here. We're definitely going to be running up on the time limit, though. Ooh, how disappointing. Funny, though, that despite the now maining Reaper, I haven't actually done anything that would require reaping. Or at least no combat in the general sense, aside from that fade at the start. Urange appears to be heading towards the entrance to Bestway's burrow. So this is where the Laportes turn against me. Possibly because they're required of me. This is not going to end well for anyone involved, I can tell you that much. Surveying. Alright, stay hidden. He has to not realize we're here. You're on to ventures further. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Darn it, I should have made a ninja is what I should have done. Then again, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let you cheese that. Follow from a safe distance will end in failure for notice or too far behind. Should you fail, come back here again. Your destination will not appear on the map. Remember to use these rocks. Alright, and hide behind this rock. Break line of sight. Who's there? Sprint. Duty complete. He knew.
Thine arrival is timely as ever.
So he knew I was following him.
Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume?
By sheer luck, yes. I'm sure I didn't intend to.
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity.
Hey man, I know you feel obligated to do this sort of thing, but if I need to do the impossible again, I'll do it. I'll achieve whatever goal
And
seems.
Rahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy.
And don't forget you helped us back there with those Warriors of
Would
Darkness.
that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain, brokered by my hand, were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine, her beloved daughter.
No one could have prevented that, man. Don't blame yourself.
Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives. Ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians.
All the way back in Realm Reborn, Moonbreeda's sacrifice is what allowed us to find a way to kill supposedly immortal Ascians. Something that's been continued to be relevant throughout the entire game, as each
In her
expansion.
hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good.
Don't blame yourself, man. That was her choice.
Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today.
But then the Ascian would have killed us, remember? It was only because of her sacrifice we were able to live. Not for that, the Ascian...
Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Would we attempt to weigh the costs? I agree with this, but we need... that's... Yeah, I mean, we could dwell on what ifs, but sometimes it's not a right answer, it's just how it is. But he needs this, especially since he's continuing to blame himself.
Sage counsel indeed.
Yeah, normally I'd say there's no right answer, but here he does need at least assurance.
Wisdom as befits a great worm. Curious that he should think thee in need of such encouragement.
Believe it or not, even the Warrior of Light needs encouragement
Strange.
sometimes.
Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond.
If you need to confide in me, yeah, you can do so. If I need to keep something from... As long as it's not actively malicious, I'm fine simply not telling the other Scions what's on your mind. Sometimes you just need someone's shoulder to cry on, you know? That's what I'm getting at.
It would be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
And yeah, for anyone who forgot or wasn't watching, the sagely advice we chose to pick was from when Vitra gave to us. And that's what I meant when... That's why he was surprised that he'd be giving sage advice to the Warrior of Light, and why I felt it was necessary to say even the Warrior of Light sometimes needs some sagely advice as well.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
Unfortunately, we're brushing against the maintenance. Oh yeah, unfortunately, maintenance has arrived. Truth, my reason for coming hither was to effect a plan of mine own, a plan which may pave way for us all. May, I say, for there's no guarantee of success. As 'tis the reason I sat alone, and that failure, should it come, would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standst before me with a hand open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, so I ask, would thou join me in mine endeavor? We shall be doing precisely that, Urion J, but it'll have to be next time. The chat is warning people that the announcement time that this emergency maintenance is about to begin. It's funny that I'm ending now. Started over an hour ago, but I'm ending now. This is way earlier than I usually do, but... Well, for one, it's nice not being half asleep. But I'm gonna have to call the stream now that we're at the end, but... Well, I guess after all the stuff that happened last time, I think last time was one of the longer streams I've done. The longest one, I believe, so far was the Deltarune stream, which was 7 hours. And the last one was... yeah, almost 6, so yeah, definitely some long ones. But, alright, I guess I'll be calling the stream for now. Thank you for watching, I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you next time.